This is d7.2 in normal mode. You have a system info tab, which first pops up with all of this good information about the system, all of these alerts and other various things that you should probably know, various tests that have passed and failed. Up here at the top, we have our real-time status of RAM, page file usage, hard drive, etc. The problem with all these wonderful checks and status updates is that it relies on a good bit of Windows to actually function properly. Unfortunately, Windows doesn't always function properly when we want to run d7.2 on it. Some components may be broken, like WMI, which plays a big part in a lot of what d7.2 does as far as information gathering. So when those technologies are broken, then d7.2 may crash or hang when it's attempting to start up. So if it freezes indefinitely, then usually that's a problem with WMI. So what we want to do is work around these problems, and that's why I've developed d7.2 safe mode. We can get there by several different ways. And the first way I'll just show you right now, as long as we're already in D7, is to restart d7.2 in safe mode from the Run menu. Now once you see d7.2 start in safe mode, you'll notice that a lot of it is not there. We don't have the real-time status stuff at the top. We don't have the system info or the reports tab. We're not missing much of anything else. Tweaks tab. But the whole point of this mode is to get you into D7 so you can do your diagnostics, your malware removal, and your Windows repair, or whatever you have to do to the system to get it functioning well enough to switch d7.2 back to normal mode with this button right here. Once you switch to d7.2 to safe mode, it will always start in safe mode, even just restarting d7.2 normally, until you choose the option to switch back to normal mode by clicking this button. Of course, there are other ways to get into d7.2's safe mode. It wouldn't be convenient if you actually had to run d7.2 first to get into the safe mode. The first way is by holding the control key as d7.2 starts. I'll show you that in just a second. Hold control. This will give you the startup options screen. Once you get the startup options screen, you have several options here. You can start d7.2 regularly. You can also start d7.2 in safe mode. You can run config or just close d7.2 and optionally end the session. We have some other options over here for system mode and kill 'em all and startup script and cloud config and debug mode, but we don't need to go into that right now. Debug mode actually would be useful if you're troubleshooting an issue and you're working with me to get that issue resolved. So you can start d7.2 from safe mode via that menu by holding control down. You'll also get that menu if you start d7.2 and it does freeze or hang or crash. If it freezes or hangs and you end the process, it is the same thing as a crash. So the next time you start d7.2, it will recognize that it crashed previously when starting and automatically show you that startup menu where you can select safe mode. Finally, I did want to show you also in d7.2 config, under startup behavior, you can actually force that startup menu with this option. So that startup menu will pop up every time you start up d7.2. Now, if you're not actually at the keyboard when the startup menu does pop up automatically, it does have a countdown timer and it will expire and automatically load d7.2. So if you're not at the keyboard, it won't break automation. So don't be afraid to enable that menu. Then we also have under Session MISC, you can start session in d7.2 safe mode. This will give you no system info tab or health checks, a fast startup, reduce startup hangs due to broken Windows components. The start session in d7.2 safe mode option will apply every time you run d7 on a computer for the first time. When it starts the session, it will automatically start in safe mode. From there, you can do what you need to do to get the system ready to run d7.2 in normal mode. One more neat thing about d7.2 safe mode, it's resizable. So you can work into any resolution and not have to worry about seeing what fits on the screen. I hope this video has been of some help to you. Thanks for watching.